Hello? Hello, hello? Okay. Oh, okay. Not bad. Okay, I figured it out. Or not. Shit. Hello, Kuzu. Give me 1 second. I'm trying my bestest to try to figure out this multi-stream stuff. Can I pop out the chat? Why can't I pop out the chat? That's stinky. Okay, well, attempt number 2. Trying to stream on multiple platforms and it is becoming more of a headache than anything. Let me see. Did this do anything? Oh, it kind of did. What? Where's this coming from? Ow! Ow! Hey! Genji, get off of me! He's climbing on my back with his sharp-ass claws. That is not what I wanted to do. Why is the chat here? He is saying hi, but his claws hurt. He's got no reason to have them that sharp. Don't mind the random sync PNG. I promise there's a point to that. I'm gonna be going live on like 10 different platforms. Hold on. Okay, good. So I can take this one out. Okay, so there's that one. Get rid of this one. And then this one. Let's see if my computer can handle this. My gosh. Bam, 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 bam. Hi, Laura. Don't mind me trying to figure out how to fix this. Okay, so I should be able to put this one away. Yes, and I have this one. And yes, I am using it as a reference. That's why the sink is here. Oh, maybe not a reference. I'm more of like cheating with it. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Okay, I'm gonna... I can't figure out the perspective on this, so I'm just going to, you know, borrow it. Borrow the perspective, if that's even a thing. today's my day off, so my brain is off. I haven't had a normal day off in a while. I was gonna ask about the random sink. Yeah, I don't know how to draw sinks. So that's why I got the sink. So yeah, good old stock images for you. I think this should be good. It's this part. This, like, bowl part that I can never get right. There we go. That should be good now. And then I can get rid of that. I didn't like the faucet on that sink, so I did go and find handles I actually liked. So now I'm gonna steal the handles off of this. Just here. Still had a nice house, but we're gonna put in them default fucking sink handles and faucet, you know what I mean? Because he had a nice home, but not that nice of a home. Gotta humble them. But yeah, basically what I'm working on is a few of my friends have been doing this one, and I've been thinking of doing it too, because, you know, you got OCs, your OCs always got trauma, with little sparkles, you know, trauma. It's not just trauma, no, it's trauma. And this is that one meme that originated from Undertale, where it's the little mirror where it's just like, oh, despite it's you, and then it, like, you're back at the house again, look in the same mirror, and it says, despite everything, it's still you. Are you gonna do TikTok lives again? Yeah, I'm trying. I'm live now. I'm just real busy, okay? I've literally have been doing nothing but conventions every weekend, so it's been rough. I literally, like, I have another convention this weekend, so I still don't really get, like, a break. Today's, like, my only day off, which is why I'm just doing something that I want to do, you know, just kind of chill. I could be, you know, busting my ass working on a cosplay, but I'm like, nah. No, I think I'm just gonna draw and then take another nap, you know? And then probably play Fortnite later. Yeah. Doing nothing but traveling, too. I haven't had, like, a local con in a hot minute, and I want to be able to just sleep in my own bed on the weekends instead of being somewhere like 3 hours away. So yeah, that's why I'm here. I'm gonna be here for a while, actually, until I finish, because this is a two-parter, so this is like the first drawing, which, as you can see, this is a sketch. This is Syl, my OC that I use for almost everything. This is him before the trauma. Sparkle, sparkle. So yeah, this is him before. This is him in his little uniform. He works at a place called the Checker Cafe, which explains all the checker patterns. And, you know, he's fine there. You know what? I say this is before the trauma, but motherfucker lost his parents. But to be honest, his parents were terrible people, because growing up, he was actually super well off. He was in a very wealthy family, but Kuma, I swear to God, if you step on my keyboard one more time. Kuma is like, that's the cat. Kuma. Hey. Kuma, I can't read chat. You're too thick. Let me see chat. You're not supposed to be on my desk to begin with, brother. You need to move. Thank you. God, rude. That's swear to God, I thought I heard the other cat, but no, I'm just hearing things now. See what you do to me, Kuma? I'm trying to relax, and all you do is bring me stress. So anyways, yeah, he was from a very wealthy family, and his only purpose for being born was to inherit the company kind of thing. So he only had one purpose, and that purpose was continue on the family legacy kind of bullshit. I mean, he didn't want to fucking do that. He cared less about the family business. But yeah, so they went to, like, they were going to those stupid rich parties where rich people just kind of mingle and make business decisions. And Syl was with them, and that just happened to be the day that a group of people decided, hey, that's a rich people party. We're gonna go kill and steal all their stuff. That's gonna go great. So, you know, Syl's uncle was really the only one that gave him any attention. His name is Geen. Geen is great. He's awesome. I love him. Geen stuffs Syl into a closet when he realizes that these motherfuckers are breaking in and what's gonna happen. So it was because of his uncle that Syl survived any of that. Unfortunately, Geen did not survive, and neither did Syl's parents. So, yeah, he already has trauma, kind of. It gets worse, because of course, you can't have a decent OC without, you know, yeah. Yes, what is your question? Sorry, I am streaming on 3 different places right now, and I can't. I have to look in several different places on my screen right now to see what chat is talking. Okay. Alright, I think that's good for the sink. I'm gonna leave him a degenerate child and not give him soap. Because we're not here for the soap in the background. No one cares about that. Or if you do, my bad. I didn't mean to assume, but I don't care. Let's see. Okay. You know what I should do too? To make this look more like an actual bathroom? Sometimes bathrooms have like the wall fixture, you know what I mean? And it has like 3 lights. I'm gonna do that actually. Yeah, this is already looking better. This is looking more like your average household bathroom. Any drawing tips on hands? Oh boy, let me tell you how I do it. So I work really well by just looking at stuff. So I'm the weird person that will put my hand in the position that I want, and I will take a picture of it from the angle that I need it from. So that's honestly my main tip. There it is. Sorry, my bad. I had to burp real bad, and I didn't want to say something without burp. There's another one. My bad. But yeah, that's my one tip / trick on hands. Put your hand in the way that you want, take a picture of it from the direction that you need it, and you're golden. I use that as a reference then. Sometimes, if kind of like I did with the sink just now, I will stick it into Procreate and I will trace over it, and then from there I will kind of make it look more like my style and not just an actual hand, because that's terrifying. But yeah, so there's absolutely no shame in doing a little bit of tracing sometimes. It's not someone else's art, you know? I used a real life sink. I can't draw sinks. I'm gonna trace over the sink, you know, it's fine. I can learn how to draw a sink later, it's not really that big of a deal. And then when it comes to the hand, I literally just took a picture of my own hand. I think I'm allowed to trace over my own hand. But I also learned how to draw from tracing when I was younger. I literally would draw like the same thing over and over again enough times to where like I started to understand the shapes of what I was tracing, and then I could just do it by myself without that. So everyone learns differently. I am a very visual learner, and that's how I figured it out, with tracing. Okay, so on this part, I sketched up pretty well, so I don't need to do any other sketching, so I'm just... Oh, that is tiny. That's too small for me. I think that's usually where I have it. Yeah, there we go. I feel like that's too thin still. 3. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, 'cause I like to have different weight in my lines. Oh, my nose. Ah! Ah! My nose! Okay. Okay, I thought I had to sneeze. No, I'm good. I'm good. Don't worry about me. So anyways, yeah, that's Whistl's little tidbit about him. So basically, I haven't really fleshed this part out yet to make it make sense, but he's living by himself, and because his parents have plenty of money, he technically has plenty of money, but he doesn't really want that much of it. He uses it when he really needs to, you know? If a dude is desperate, a dude is desperate. You know, he kind of puts his pride aside for that, so that's why he has like his own little house, you know, that he was able to pay for with the money that was left behind. And you know, he is the sole owner of he was technically the sole owner of the business, but because his parents died when he was so young, an executive decision was made and it was passed down to like a cousin or something. You know, I'm not gonna get into that. That doesn't really matter too much. In his particular story, you know, he just didn't want anything to do with it. But he does have money saved up. But despite all that, he still has a job, and that's why he works at the Checkered Cafe. Also because, you know, he was by himself when he was found, and the lady from there, which I still haven't really decided on her name, because again, for some more backstory on, so Syl is from a story that was fully fleshed out, that's the word, not fledged, fleshed out. It's a proper story, and it had basically what would be like 3 seasons worth of content, and it was solely from a roleplay between me and an old friend of mine. Imagine it kind of like how Critical Role right now is, where Critical Role is quite literally just a reenactment of someone's D&D campaign. Just like that. You know, it literally lasted a few years before we got to like a finishing point, and that finishing point wasn't good, because unfortunately the friendship ended, and because the friendship ended, the story suffered. So I haven't really decided on a lot of the characters' names and stuff since, because some of those characters belong how that person has grown since. So I'm not gonna speak for them or anything, but I could care less. I'm not gonna be that person. But yeah. So the character had a name at one point, and now she doesn't. So she's this really cute little plump lady. She's a bunny, and oh, that's the other thing, because I'm a fucking furry. Every characters in my story are from a semi-post-apocalyptic world where everyone is half an animal, because that's how they developed. Yeah. So that's why Syl has ears and a tail, and most of the other characters have ears and tails. So the owner of the cafe in particular, she's a bunny, and she's really fucking cute, and I really like her, and I cannot remember what name I gave her. So here, I can actually do a little sketch over here, just like a real quick what she looks like kind of deal. So she has those like glasses, and she has them like bedazzled, and she has these like really plump lips because I love her, oh my god. And then she has like, her hair's always done real well. She's got like, you know, she's like, oh yes, curlers up the ass, you know what I mean? She has the chains coming off, and then she has her little bunny ears. And that's what she looks like. And I do not remember what name I gave her, but she's really cute, and I love her, and she is, holy shit, savage. She can be so mean when she needs to, but she's one of those, like, how dare you, this and that, why don't you clean your fucking room, or like, why don't you clean up this mess the right way, and don't forget to eat, you look skinny, you know, that kind of deal. She's like, yeah, no, I care about you, but I'm also gonna beat you into shape to be a proper person. So she's very nice. She watches out for Syl. Like, she's harsh on him, but for good reason. Because despite Syl not liking the way he was raised, he can't ignore the fact that he was raised under a very wealthy roof, so he didn't have to do a lot of the things for himself. So she taught him how to wash his clothes, basic cooking, you know, just take care of himself without somebody else. And he's very thankful for that. So, yeah. I'm a little sad now that I can't remember what name I gave her finally, because I did give her, like, a cute name. It was like Fiona or something like that. She reminds me of a Fiona. So yeah, so she's there to help. So I'm just gonna call her Fiona for now. Because I think that actually might have been what I called her. Yeah, so he works at the Checkered Cafe, and it's specifically a bookstore / cafe. So it's where you can go and buy books, or you can just sit down, chill, and read a book while you drink some coffee. So Syl specifically is like the guy that works at the cafe portion. So he is the one making the coffee and bringing it out to people. There is another cashier character that I actually haven't even thought to develop. But it's definitely not Syl by himself. Like, there has to be a cashier person that works with Fiona as well, that is mainly doing the book side of things. But I literally haven't come up with anything for them. So if you guys have any ideas for someone who would fit in that type of thing, like, throw out ideas, throw out different animals that they can be, because right now Syl is a hedgehog, because I'm a Sonic kid and I like hedgehogs. So Syl is a hedgehog, even though he doesn't really have like hedgehog type ears. That's just my stylistic choice. I will never get rid of that. I will be cringy till the day I die. And then Fiona's a rabbit. We have a fox. We have a cat. We have multiple bunnies, multiple hedgehogs. We have fish people. We have a piranha. I love him. He comes in way later in the storyline, technically. But he's one of my favorite characters to draw, because I really like the way that I drew them. By the way, I created all of these characters and all of these ideas back when I was in middle school, is when it started. So I was like 8th grade starting my freshman year. So doing math, that had to have been 2012, 2013, around there. So someday I want to develop them and properly make a webtoon out of the story, because I actually do really like the story. And I think it could pop off, you know, realistically. I have hopes for it. But I guess to summarize the whole story as like a whole is, obviously, I already mentioned, it's a post-apocalyptic type world where all of the humans are a type of mix with some other animal, because that's just how they developed over time. So it's always like everyone is just like, oh yeah, you're like this type of person and this and that. I remember I gave them a specific name, but I didn't, because, and it does become relevant later on, because there is a character that way farther into the storyline, way far into the storyline. I'm not gonna go into them at all because they're like a big deal. So I'm gonna spoil it just a tiny bit, but not like it matters. I'm talking about this like it's already like fully written. In my head, it's fully written, but nowhere else. Reback was posting on Insta? Oh, you were posting on Instagram too. Got it. Ah, okay. Let me see. Where was it? That turned out to be like a full human. And obviously, by this point in time, there are no humans. So, it becomes a big deal, but that's besides the point. So yeah, that part's cool. So yeah, I need some kind of cashier character, and they literally only show up for like an episode, so they don't gotta be like super thought-provoking, which is why I haven't really thought about them. I guess one chapter, because if it's going to be a webtoon, it's technically a chapter. Hold on, my ears are itchy. You guys ever get that where you like been wearing your over-the-head headphones for too long, and then your ears just start to get itchy for some reason? Yeah, that just happened. Anyways, so yeah, that's the story of like the basic story of like the world. And because it is post-apocalyptic-ish, it's after they've rebuilt everything. So there's like very like high tech, like very smart technology. Yeah, so it was away from chat, but I've been listening and I'm at work and drawing too. Nice! Thank God I don't gotta work today, but that's besides the point. Basically what happens, and this is the very first chapter, so this isn't a spoiler at all, like, you're gonna, if anyone's ever going to read this is the very first thing you'll run into, which is, Syl's just minding his own business at home after work, and all of a sudden there's, like, a meteorite that lands in his backyard. He goes outside to investigate because, you know, he's renting the place. He's like, ah, shit. Well, let's see what the damages are. Am I gonna get my security deposit back? He goes out there, and there's, like, this glowing thing. It's just a light at first, and it is a very deep crater. Motherfucker's not getting his deposit back. So he's, like, looking in there, and the ground from beneath him kind of, like, crumbles, so he falls into the crater. And he touches this thing. And this thing is, like, it's almost like a liquid. Because as soon as it makes contact with him, it's almost like he absorbs it kind of thing. Like, it just kind of seeps into his skin and his body and everything. And when he wakes up again, he's like, ah, fuck. I don't know where that glowing thing went. I'm in this hole. So he figures out how to get out of there. He gets out of there. He's like, okay, well, it's somehow already the next day. I need to get ready for work. So he goes into the bathroom to get ready and everything, and he notices that obviously here his hair's all black, or it will be when I'm done coloring it in, but his hair's just black, you know, normal. When he looks in the mirror, it turns out that he has blue hair now with black tips, so it's almost like from his roots he is now growing hair the same color as the stuff that he touched, like the glowing color. And he's freaking out because, first of all, how the fuck did this happen? When did it happen? He's gonna get in trouble at work because you're not supposed to have dyed hair. So, obviously not knowing what actually happened to him because, you know, he just kind of touched it and immediately just conked out. Because he fell into a crater. He's more concerned about getting yelled at work by Fiona because she's strict. And he's not supposed to be doing that. So he goes into work all panicked, with a hat on, and she's just like, why the fuck are you wearing a hat in the middle of summer? And he's like, oh no, like, it's just a really bad hair day, don't worry about it. And she's just like, whatever bad hair day it is, it better be bad enough to wear that hat. And he's like, no, really, like, I swear, it really is that bad. So she just lets him wear it, thinks he's weird, cause he is fucking weird for wearing a hat in the middle of summer, but oh well. His hair's fucking blue, and he doesn't know what to do about that. So he goes into the locker room to change into his uniform, changes into his uniform, and another character comes in, another main character. They're sitting at the table, waiting to get, like, a coffee, and they look real confused, you know, like, they're real quiet, real, like, confused, but they kind of walk in and they ask for, like, Syl goes up to him, it's just like, oh, hey, what's up, like, what do you want? And they're just like, can I get chocolate milk? And he's just like, weird, but yeah, we have chocolate milk off the kids menu, but I can make an exception. Why aren't you wearing a hat? No, you're right. You know what? He really should just give her the Uno reverse card. Why aren't you wearing a hat? It's National Hat Day, Fiona. You should have known this. But yeah. So he's just like, okay, I'm gonna get this weird ass guy a fucking chocolate milk, I guess. And then Syl is coming back with the chocolate milk, trips, his hat falls off, chocolate milk falls all over this person, and Fiona freaks out for 2 reasons. You spilled fucking chocolate milk on a customer, and why the fuck's your hair blue? So Syl's just like, I really don't know what happened. I just woke up like this. I didn't mean it. And then he's just like, you know what? You can yell at me later. I need to take care of this person and the chocolate milk. So like at first glance, Syl really thought this person was like a man, a boy. So he offers his clothes for them to change into. And because this is like a retail store with an apartment up top, Fiona lives on the top floor. So he offers, hey, wear my stuff, and in the meantime I'll wash your shirt. You know, it's got chocolate milk over it, you don't want to smell stinky. So he offers it to him, and then he's like, yeah, you can change in here, I'll be right back with, you know, a pair of pants too. I only have a shirt in here. So he goes to get the pants, walks in, without announcing himself, doesn't knock on the door, because he assumes this is just like a boy his age. No, that is a whole girl, a whole woman that he walks in on. You know, one of those tropes where it's just like, oh, she's in the middle of changing. Oh my god, that's actually a girl. I grew up watching Our in High School, can you tell? So yeah. And that's like a common trope, and this actually has a lot to do with this character. This character is Seelin. Our new character is Seelin. So she is a girl with like very short, spiky hair. She wears very baggy clothes. It's almost like she walked out of an institution of sorts. Like she like a uniform. It's plain, it's oversized, it looks uniform. So that's why it was like kind of weird seeing them there and all this other stuff. And so he's like, he apologized, and he's just like, can anything else get any fucking worse? My hair's blue, spilled chocolate on this person, and I walked in on them, and it's a woman. Ah, shit, you know, fuck. I fucked up. So, from this point on, you know, Fiona's just like, okay, well, you can go home. Don't worry about it. Other unnamed random person that I haven't made yet is here, so they can cover your shift. You clearly have some shit to take care of. Go fix your hair. So Syl goes out, and then this, you know, Seelin, at this point they've already introduced themselves. Like, hey, yeah, my name's Seelin, like, what's up, whatever. She just kind of like starts following Syl, and he's just like, oh, like, can I help you? Are you good? Like, do you know where you're going? And she's just like, no, I have no clue where I'm going. Can I just, like, do you know where you're going? And he's just like, I know exactly where I'm going. What kind of a question is that? So he's just like, do you have nowhere to go? And then Seelin kind of just like, no, not really. So he's just like, well, this is weird. People are gonna think I'm weird. For allowing this random girl to come with me, but I'll figure something else, I guess. So he just kind of goes home, brings her along. She's just kind of chilling on his couch while he's trying to figure out what to do with his hair. So he tries washing it, and he's just like, weird, there's like no paint, it's not dye or anything, there's nothing coming out. So then he goes, like, he keeps staring into the mirror, has no clue what to do. He picks up box dye on the way home, tries that. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. The moment that he puts any, like, color into it, that color only shows up on the tips. So he's like, what the fuck is going on? So he's like, I'm curious. So he goes to cut a piece of his hair, and just like, kind of like in Rapunzel, you know, like Tangled, the moment that she cuts her hair, it turns brown. The moment he cuts his hair, his hair goes back to black. Like, the strand he just cuts off goes back to his natural color. So it's only the hair that's attached to his head that is blue. So he's, like, hella confused, doesn't understand what's going on. Yeah. So he goes over and he's just like, well, what the fuck am I supposed to do with, like, Seelan over here? Like, she can't just stay here. Like, she has to have somewhere to go. I don't even know how old she is, you know? So now he's freaking out because he goes over and it's just like, Seelan, I should have asked before, but how old are you? She's like, oh, I'm 22. And he's just like, oh, thank God. You know, I'm good. Syl at this point is like 24, so they're around the same age like he thought. And they're just like, alright, well, but do you have, like, anything to wear? Anything, like, anywhere to go? Anything. And she's like, nope, I don't even know where I came from. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know why I'm here. I don't really know who I am. I just know my name. They're just like, yay, cool. So he's like, you know what? I need to get out of the house. So they go to the mall. For whatever reason, I really need to figure out a better segue for why they're in the house and then just decide to go to the mall. I'll figure that out later. But the next scene I know for sure has to happen at the mall because this is when they meet the next guy. You know, it's one of those, like, trio main character kind of groups. So the main guy, this is how I've always had, like, their meeting kind of go. I just need to write it out better. So basically, you know, they're at the mall, whatever. They've been walking around trying to find Seelan something to wear. And she's like,
peaches, 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 peaches. Peaches, 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 peaches.
I forgot I had that as an option. But yeah, so they're at the mall trying to figure out what the fuck Seelan's gonna wear. Seelan has absolutely no opinions, so Syl's like, what the fuck? Why am I here? Why am I stuck doing this? Why don't you have an opinion? Please have an opinion. You need to wear something else other than my clothes. I need those back, you know? So they're just walking around and Seelan finally, like, chooses what is essentially the same stuff that she already came in, which is a baggy black shirt and some pants with some basic black shoes. All plain. And he's like, okay, if this is really what you want, fine. At least you're cheap, you know? So, they're walking around the mall. She finally decides what she wants. They walk out, and they're walking, and then all of nowhere they hear some commotion coming from, like, behind them in the mall. And so they look over, and they're just like, oh, what the hell's going on? And it's a bunch of security guards chasing down this dude that has, like, a hoodie on with his, with the hood up. So, he has a hoodie. He has the hood up. And you can tell that he has blue hair under there. So, this motherfucker, as he's running by Syl, catches a glimpse of him, takes his hoodie off, forces it over Syl's head, and runs away. So now the security guards come around the corner, they see Syl with the hoodie on, or more like half on, you know? So he's like basically constrained by the sweater with the hood up. He just looks over at them. Syl has blue hair now, and the security guards think it's him. So they go in to grab this dude that's struggling with the sweater. The security is not that smart. And I'm allowed to say that because I worked security for 7 years. The security's not smart. So yeah, that happens, and Syl's just like, oh, what else could fucking go wrong, you know? And Seelan is just chill. Doesn't really understand what's wrong. She's just like there, and the security is just like, are you an accomplice? And she's just like, no. And they're just like, then what are you doing here? She's just like, he was giving me clothes. And there's just like, it's like, ma'am, you really shouldn't be with someone who's gonna steal clothes for you. And she's just like, they didn't steal anything. And they're just like, no, he very much did. That's why we were chasing him. She's just like, no, we bought this. They're just like, we beg to differ. This is exactly the description of the person that we were told to chase. And Syl's just like, it really wasn't me. This sweater was barely on my head. Y'all are stupid. You know, like, what are you guys on? So, Seelin, like, pulls out the stuff that she got, shows it to them, and, you know, the receipt is in the bag, and she's just like, she's just like, see? I'm not a liar, you know? And the security guards are just like, oh, we're so sorry. Our bad. You know? So, Syl and Seelin walk out of there. Syl's holding this hoodie, and he's, like, grasping it. He's just like, this motherfucker, I want to know who the fuck this guy is. I want to find him, and give him a piece of my mind. Like, is he joking? Like, if I didn't have, like, something that we had already bought with a receipt, like, how else could it have gone? You know, like, stuff like that. And, you know, he's just, like, fuming. And they're just like, you know what, let's just go back to my place. Like, I'm done. I'm over it. So they start walking out of the mall, and right outside of the mall entrance is when, like, Syl, like, hears this guy, like, cackling from behind him, and he's just like, ah, shit, it's you. Thanks a lot for taking that for me, you know? And Syl's, like, ready to fight, you know? Hands up, about to throw hands. He's just like, what do you mean, thanks for taking that one? You know, like, you have any idea how much trouble, like, that could have caused? Like, you quite literally just, like, put the blame on me for something I definitely didn't do. And he's just like, but you're fine, you know, it didn't end up bad. He's just like, that's not the point. So, anyways, that happens. Syl's mad. That's also another part where it's just like, okay, I know how they meet, I know the situation, I don't know how to segue from that point to the next thing. So I'm gonna have to work on that. Like, how do we get from the mall and them talking to the next thing, you know? Like, do they just walk away? Like, how do they run into... His name's Santos, by the way. The new guy's name is Santos. How would they run into him again, you know? So I have to come up with an idea of, like, okay, so once they run into Santos, Syl basically wants to beat him up. How do they, like... Why do they meet up again? So, so eventually, so this is basically all happening between the first and second chapter is what I'm planning. Once it gets to the third chapter is when we start getting into the characters and more of who they are individually and why they matter. Syl, the light that he absorbed in the beginning, the one that caused his hair to turn blue, isn't just a random light, you know? It gave him a power, so he becomes telekinetic. So he can control things with his mind, and he can hear people's thoughts. This doesn't come up until the third episode when he starts hearing shit. So that's what happens there. So the light changes his hair color, only to blue though. It's not like in Harry Potter where that one girl's hair changes with his mood. No, it's only ever blue to match the power that he has. But yeah, that's something that happens. And he's telekinetic, so he can move things with his mind and he can read people's minds, but that's about it. And it does have limitations. If he uses it too much, he gets, like, tired. They're not going to be, like, super powerful in every way either. No, that's not going to happen. Seelin doesn't remember anything, and that is because Seelin is actually a cyborg, which is a whole thing that becomes relevant later on. So whenever Seelin wears clothes, through her clothes, you could always see her circuits light up through the clothes. So she has them down her arms to her elbows, and from her legs to her knees. And then she has some in her hair, and she has some on... Well, she has different colored eyes, because one of her eyes isn't real. So, I love it when people yap about their OCs. Thank you. I like yapping about my OCs. Because I do plan on making this an actual webtoon, so I'm kind of putting out my ideas and what I know is going to happen, and kind of hoping for some kind of feedback maybe, or like ideas on how I can help the flow, like, oh, like how does this get to this kind of thing, because I know exactly the events. I'm having trouble with the in-betweens, so that's what I'm having issues with. So yeah, so Syl, telekinetic, can read minds, that's why his hair is blue. Seelen is actually a cyborg, that's why she's kind of ditzy, doesn't really know what's going on, because in this world, in order to become a cyborg, you had to be at near death. So that comes up later on. There are more cyborgs, and each cyborg has a corresponding color circuit, and the ends of it are also. So here, I'm going to use Syl as an example, as if it was like Seelen's hair. So Seelen's hair is more of like, oh, that's a bad color example and bad pencil. So her hair is like this like spiky thing. It's like this. And it covers her one eye and whatever. Not that much, but you know what I mean. And in her hair, she has these circuits. So on the side of her hair, you always see these. You know, and then on her arms, for example, they go from the middle finger down, and then they stop like right here at her forearm. Same with like this one. So that's where they are. And hers are the circles. The circles mean something. With the other characters, they'll have different colors and different shapes. So for example, with one of the other characters, theirs is pink, but instead of it being circles, they have diamonds. And then there's another character who has red ones, and he has squares. You kind of get what I'm... Actually, no, he doesn't have the squares. He has an arrow. So, and then later on, much later on, there's another blue, but it's a darker blue person. And they're the ones that get the square. Oh, no, they don't get a square. Theirs is special. They get this thing, so it kind of looks like a cross. So, yeah, so that's the cyborgs thing. And I love doing the cyborgs because you can get so creative with them because they have so few rules. Their only rules are where you put the circuits and what their shape is. That's it. And then in Santos's case, and I did actually remember their name, because for the longest time I couldn't remember what I named this organization. So Santos basically came out of what would be considered a cult. It is a very, very weird cult called the, I just said I remembered the name, and I think I lied. I think I forgot it. It's Hunta something is what they come from, and basically it is a very weird culture, cult, you know, they call it their culture, their family, but it's a cult. It's a very big cult. So imagine like it's a giant castle, and everyone lives within these castle walls, and everyone within these castle walls have their own like weird belief system and their own way of doing things. So every single person in this place, if they are born a man, are forced into becoming a huntsman. And a huntsman, you know, is a very serious job where their job is to go and kill demons in this like parallel world kind of thing. No one knows where the parallel world comes from. No one knows exactly where it goes. No one really knows what these demons really are. They just call them that. And the purpose of killing them is to use their lifeline, like whatever they leave behind, their like essence or whatever, to make the huntsman more powerful. So they're essentially killing these demons to take their power and make themselves more powerful. And Santos was one of them. Now, whenever you become a huntsman, you get a very special symbol, basically a tattoo. Once you get this tattoo, it means that you are a full-fledged huntsman, but there's a catch. The tattoo that they put on you, the symbol that is chosen for you, becomes a tracker. So when you get your symbol, it becomes a tracker, and it also becomes what is essentially a fucking bomb. It's a ticking time bomb. So it's a cult, and they don't allow you to leave. If you leave, you have only a month before that tattoo basically causes you to just fucking implode from the inside out. So Santos that's his goal. His goal is to try to figure out how the fuck am I gonna be able to leave this horrible, like, civilization that I'm in, because they hold games. They have, like, these games every other, like, week on what they would be considered, like, their, like, mass, their church day, where they pit a bunch of people to get, like, against each other to the death. They fight to the death, and they broadcast it to everyone within the castle walls. And then they also pick someone to become a sacrifice to the demon lord. It gets crazy. It gets insane. So he's like, this isn't right. We shouldn't have to kill each other, because he has a best friend that he grew up with in there. And his name is Draco. So it's Santos and Draco, they're best friends, and they were told that they're going to have to fight each other soon. They're best friends. They're all they have of each other, you know? Santos was basically, like, abandoned there. Well, he wasn't abandoned, but basically Santos was born and raised within the castle walls. His parents already died to these sick, twisted games that they have. And then Draco just kind of ended up there. So it was almost like he was like a baby. Okay, he wasn't a baby, actually. Draco was old enough to find this place. So he was like a toddler when he got lost from his family, and he ended up within these castle walls. But it's a cult. So they twisted his memory and told him, you ended up with us because your family didn't love you. So that's why he ended up there and stayed there, because, you know, he was obviously old enough to find his way there. You would think he was old enough to remember that, but they twisted his memory and basically telling him his whole life. You would think, you know, like, if they really loved you, they would come and look for you by now, you know, like, this isn't some lost and found, like, you're not a piece of lost and found. So, you know, not knowing that behind the scenes, they didn't allow his parents to ever, like, find him. They would keep leading them away from the castle grounds so that they would never figure out what happened to him. So Draco's parents assume that he's fucking dead. So yeah, that's Santos's thing. Santos's whole thing is its own arc within itself, and it's great. I actually really liked coming up with the idea of the huntsman. Or I want to I named it Hunta Kalarna, something like that. Hunta something. I can't remember what the full name of the society is called. I just remember that the actual guys that become warriors and kill each other are huntsmen. And it's only the men. Only the men have to do that. And if they refuse, they die, because they're seen as, if you are born a male and you do not do your manly duties, you might as well just fucking die. So yeah, it's very brutal. So yeah, that's their thing. So Seelin is trying to figure out what or why she's there, because she's like, why the fuck am I glowing? Why I can't remember anything? Why are y'all looking at me weird? And Syl is trying to figure out what he is. So they're just trying to find answers, and they find each other. And later on, they find out about something that is called the Silver Flame. Now, the Silver Flame eventually becomes the whole point of the story. Think of it like the One Piece. The Silver Flame is the One Piece. Basically, with the legend goes that the Silver Flame is a sacred flame that appears every 100 years. And every time that it appears as a different object. So basically, this motherfucking ancient piece of, like, miracle casting flame, like, whatever it's called, but shows up every 100 years and plays prop hunt with the world. Because every 100 years it shows up as an item. So even though it's a silver flame is what it's called, doesn't actually show up as a flame. So the Silver Flame throughout the years, from what it has been logged as, is that the Silver Flame has been seen as a crown, it has been seen as a silver violin, it was found to be a silver, it was a silver comb at one point. Someone once found it as a ring. Someone once found it as a silver music box. You know, it's different things. So, in this world, people believe that owning silver things is good luck. So eventually, each one of the characters, kind of like in Steven Universe, you know how they all get stars on their suit to represent that they're one of the gems, the crystal gems? Everyone in the story eventually gets their piece of silver for good luck. So yeah, so they all band together, they eventually run into other characters, and those other characters are all looking for the same thing. They all have a desire. And I'm not going to get into what their desire is, except for maybe Santos, because Santos, you know, it's kind of obvious. He wants the tattoo and any connection to the cult gone. But with Syl and Seelen, yeah, I gotta keep it under wraps, because that would give away everything if I said what happened. So yeah, eventually it becomes I need to figure out stuff for myself to, okay, now that we've kind of figured out what's going on, now we gotta go find the silver, like, we're gonna put all of our trust into the belief that this silver flame exists. And then, because the silver flame, I forgot to tell you guys what is so important about it. If you find the silver flame, it grants any wish. Any wish, it can, including curing any disease and bringing back someone from the dead. So, it's like a cure-all. Like the Sorcerer's Stone, motherfucker, you know, kind of thing. So, that's the whole point of looking for the silver flame. So, yeah, I'm super excited to start, like, storyboarding it, seeing where it goes. So, yeah, it's, they're putting a lot on the line, because the silver flame is a legend, so they're putting a lot of trust into the silver flame really being a real thing. And if they do find it, what they can get out of it. Now, of course, there is, like, the bad guy that's going for the same thing, trying to stop them for their own reasons. And that bad guy's name is Terios. And a fun fact, I got the name Terios because that was supposed to be the original name for Shadow the Hedgehog. So Shadow the Hedgehog originally wasn't going to be a hedgehog at all. He was going to be I don't know if you guys have played Sonic Heroes or Sonic Adventure, but there's like this big chemical lizard dinosaur thing. That was Shadow's original design. So they reused it as a boss in the games, obviously, but that was actually Shadow's original design. He wasn't supposed to be a hedgehog. He was supposed to be that dinosaur chemical plant thing. And his name wasn't supposed to be Shadow either. It was supposed to be Terios. I don't remember the meaning behind Terios. I just know that it was supposed to be something along the lines of the best, the ultimate, you know, because he is the ultimate life form. So it was supposed to mean something like that. So, being the cheesy kid that I was, you know, I started off as a Sonic kid, still am, never got rid of that. I named my bad guy Terios, because I'm like, shit, you know, free game. I guess I'm using this name now. So the bad guy's name is Terios, and he is one of the other cyborgs, and that is where I'm going to keep that. That is all you need to know about him. He does make things. So he is very smart. He knows how to make things. And later on in the story, this starts off pretty much the moment that he runs into like the main cast. How am I gonna defeat these motherfuckers kind of deal. So what does he do? He takes Syl's DNA, and he actually makes a female version of Syl to fight alongside him. So the other bad guy, or I should say bad girl, evil woman, I don't know what you want to call him, her name is Glyce. So Glyce is the evil female version of Syl. And she, instead of having telekinetic powers, she has ice powers. I think. No, it wasn't ice powers. I forgot what I gave her. I think she has very similar powers to Syl, actually, but instead of being able to read minds and move things with her mind, she's able to... I don't know, what would be the opposite of telekinesis? So is he like taking a selfie in the mirror? If so, who's taking the photo? Oh, it's no, for the picture. No. So basically this is, the meme is, or not a meme, it's kind of like a TikTok art meme, I guess you could call it, or art trend, where, let me see if I can find it. Let me just look it up. I just have bathroom sinks in my search history, don't worry about it. It's Undertale, it's you, mirror. Yeah, so here you go. So this is the image. Know your meme. I don't want the whole thing. Just want the picture. Yeah, you see this one? Oop. Maybe? Here, let me just save this one so I can show it to you guys. Yeah, so here it is. This is the meme. So it's someday maybe. Well, not today apparently. So it's from Undertale. It says it's you. And then later on, like near the end of the game, when you're back here, it says it's despite everything, it's still you. So people have been using it on TikTok to draw their OCs before, quote unquote, before the trauma, and then quote unquote after the trauma that they've been given. So I'm starting off with the it's you picture where it's just Syl getting ready for work before any of this bullshit happens. And then the second one is going to be, here I can insert it. Jesus, how long ago did I fucking draw it? It wasn't that long ago. Oh, there it is. I'm just dumb. This is the second one. So this is what Syl looks like now. So, yeah, I'm gonna change the mirror because I want to keep it the exact same. So I'm just gonna draw him in the same bathroom, except I'm gonna make the bathroom look a little more, I don't know how to call it, but you know what I mean. So that's for later. So right now I'm working on the first one and then the second one, and then I'm gonna make it into a proper TikTok. So I've been doing nothing but yapping about my OCs instead of actually drawing this, but if you guys enjoyed me talking about it, I appreciate you letting me talk about it. And I hope you guys give me feedback on stuff, because I do want to start actually working on it. I just have to figure out, like, how the fuck do people manage to do webtoons where they're like full color? Like, I feel like I wouldn't do a webtoon in full color so I can actually realistically do it, because I have a full-time job, you know, I'm a manager, and I also do conventions. That's a lot of work to be putting time into a webtoon also that's going to be fully colored. So I kind of want to do the type of thing where like mangas do it, where when you open up the manga, the very first page is like full color, but then the rest of it is like, you know, a black and white manga with like the cross-hatching and stuff. I can't remember the proper word for it right now, but you know what I mean. Except in my case, it would be like single color, kind of like how I did the sketch here with the pen, but like it's gonna be with like, it's gonna be monochromatic in a color. So instead of it being black, I would do it in like blue, and stuff like that, and then it would be full color in moments where it's like really important, and that's about it. There's oh, I know exactly what book is a good example of the art that I'm talking about. I don't know if you guys are too old or too young to remember this, but it was called Baby Mouse. And the actual, you see how the art is, where it's black and white and then a single color? This is exactly what I'm talking about that I want to do. This is the type of color I want. I want to do it where it's all black and white and then a single color. So this was my inspiration. I read almost all of these books growing up. I'm so glad I remember that, because I remember I was trying to explain it to one of my friends the other day of like what I was talking about by like monochromatic but with a color. And I'm so glad that I remembered now where I was getting that idea from. It's from fucking Baby Mouse. That's where I first watched it. I mean, saw it, not watched it. It's a book. I don't think they ever made it into an animated series because I would have watched the shit out of that when I was younger. I was obsessed with reading Baby. I was obsessed with reading in general. Now, I could never see myself opening up a book. Maybe audiobook though, because at work I usually have something like I'm listening to. Lately it's just been like Reddit stories. I'm one of those people where it's just like, am I the asshole teacher edition, or am I the asshole stories from a mother-in-law? Stuff like that. I feel like maybe if I listened to a story, I wouldn't rot my brain with with Reddit, but it's okay. It's good stuff to just have in the background. Most of the time I'm not even paying attention. First of all, I'm gonna premise this with I've never been officially diagnosed with anything like autism or anything, but my doctor thinks that I definitely might have something similar. She said I definitely have at least ADHD, but she's like, there might be more to it just because of the things I've explained to her. But, you know, I have the type of tism, if I were to have it, where I need to be overstimulated all the time. So I cannot let it be quiet for any reason. I have to always have something going, someone talking in the background. It's something, you know, like kind of like how people like white noise and stuff. To me, having just a random video in the background that I'm not even fucking listening to is my white noise. But I have to have something. It cannot just be quiet ambiance. I can't do that. So, I like a lot of noises and a lot of stuff going on. Very rarely do I get overstimulated, and it's really only when, like, I'm tired. I only get overstimulated when I'm tired. Like, I've already been doing a lot, and then it's like it just keeps coming one after another. That's when it gets bad. And I work retail, so sometimes that can happen a lot. It doesn't happen as often, though, because, you know, I'm pretty good at my job, so most of the time I can figure stuff out. But if it's like back-to-back-to-back issues where someone always needs me because I'm the manager, so I'm constantly getting called, you know, to do stuff, that's when it starts to hit, because I'm just like, I just need a break, you know? I need to sit down after dealing with this asshole, and then I don't get to have that break. It's immediately to the next one. And that's when I start to kind of deteriorate throughout the day, where it's like, okay, usually I can deal with this. I'm really good at dealing with this. But it's been too many times too often. So I don't get the chance to, what would I call it? There's a specific word I'm looking for. It's like something that overheats, you know? I don't get the chance to cool down. I don't get the cool down. You're just burning oil, you know? You can't burn oil. You have to let it cool down. I just realized this is Nintendogs music. I love Nintendogs. Actually, let me change it real quick. I'm in the mood for Nintendogs music now. Nintendogs music. Nintendogs and Cats. Nintendogs DS OST. Yes. Yes. The nostalgia is coming back to me. Oh, I almost forgot the bottom of this little vest thing. You ever have that moment where you're just casually listening to a playlist and then a song you haven't heard in a long time punches you with nostalgia? That was me with Nintendogs. Not that long ago, it was like last week. My friends come over every Friday and we were doing a guess the video game song challenge. So they were just playing like songs from, we specifically did a Nintendo one. It was 100 Nintendo songs and you had to guess what game they were from. And it was like a different point system where you would get half a point if you can guess the franchise, but you would get a full point if you could also if you could also name exactly what game from the franchise, you know, it's like, okay, yeah, this is from Kirby, but what Kirby game? And then you would get an extra point if you could also name exactly what part of the game it's from. Like if you could guess exactly what stage or what boss it was, or like what state, like what course, you know, they had a few Mario Kart ones, so course technically counts. And yeah, this one came up and I'm like, holy crap, I forgot about Nintendogs, but I literally played this game religiously when I first got it. Because growing up I didn't really have video games, but eventually, I think it was my first communion, because, you know, in a Hispanic household, anything like your first communion or baptism is a big deal. Well, for my first communion, I got a lot of money, and with that money, I was able to buy myself a Nintendo DS, and that was technically my first video game. So that was fun. That was really fun. So, I got Nintendogs. Actually, it was because of that stupid pink DS Lite that I ever got into Sonic, because I was a little big brain kid, and I went to go pick out a game for my DS, you know, when I first bought it, and I really wanted Super Princess Peach. So whatever year that came out was the year that I finally got my DS. But I was big brain. They had a few clearance games in the same case. So I'm like, okay, let me figure this out right now. I have $50 left. I could either get Super Princess Peach for $40, or I can get 2 of the clearance games because they're only $20 each. So I'm like, it makes more sense for me to have more than one game. Oh, excuse me, I burped. So, I got Sonic Rush and Ben 10. It was because of Sonic Rush that I fell into this deep, deep, dark hole called the Sonic fandom, and now I can never leave. It's literally my whole entire, where I am sitting right now, I am surrounded by Sonic. All of my walls are only Sonic prints right now. I have a bunch of figures right next to me. I'm wearing my Sonic Crocs, and I have a Chow tattooed on one arm and a really cool Sonic tattooed on my other arm. I can never get rid of it. He's forever here. The blue blur is forever just in my life now, which is fine. It's fine. Okay. I like to do the glasses on another layer just in case. I've been drawing glasses on characters for as long as I can remember, because I've always had glasses from the moment that I really got into it, like drawing. I didn't always have glasses. I didn't get my glasses until I was in 7th grade, and that was because like I begged my mom to take me, because I really wanted glasses. I really liked the way glasses looked, and I still do. I still think glasses are like, that's like my thing in anime. You know how there's like the tropes? People in glasses is my favorite. Glasses are just designed, if you get the right ones, to even out your face and just make you look more attractive in times. And yeah, I like glasses. So I got glasses. Turns out I actually needed them. And I've been having them ever since. I'm really not that blind. My prescription is very low. But I have astigmatism, was the issue. That's the actual issue. So despite me not having that bad of a eyesight, like naturally, I can't read. I can't read from a certain distance when I'm driving. Even now, like, my computer screen isn't that far from my face, but like if I don't have my glasses on, everything is just blurry enough that I'm squinting and I start to get a headache. So that's fun. Let's see, is there anything else I have to line on him? Oh, you know what? I'm gonna use this other layer to draw in the checkers. I did something different. Hold on. Give me a second. I actually have a picture of his uniform. Give me 1 second. It's on my phone. Because I think I messed up. I think the tie is checkered and not the collar portion. Got OC references. Nope, not the right one. Is it an art example? has to be, because if it's not in... Yeah, because I fully drew... Oh, wait, actually, I think I also have the picture of the owner of the Checkered Cafe that I had mentioned. And her name should be on there. Give me a second. I'm remembering things slowly but surely. There's Santos. Not Santos. And then there's Sila. And then eventually I do kind of want to do this with all 3 of my main character OCs. Because, like, Sil is the go-to. He's my baby. He was the first one I ever designed. He's, like, the main character to everything I do. Seelan is the second, and then Santos is the third. So I feel like I'm definitely gonna do them too, because boy, did they definitely have some trauma they went through. I have to have the pictures for them. I have to. Okay, there's another picture of Sil, but that's not the one for the comic. Where are all my webtoon sketches? Now I'm a bit concerned because I got a new iPad and I don't have all the old art. So if I don't have them here, I'm shit out of luck. Oh no. Oh shit. Okay. That's not good. How do I not... What the fuck? Well, that's not normal. Okay, give me 1 second. 1 tiny second. Hold on. Things are gonna move, especially if you're watching on TikTok. Things are gonna move. Hold on. I'm turning that off because I want to check something on my iPad. And I don't want y'all snooping. Hold on. Because I got some people's commissions on here that they don't want shown on stream. And I'm going to be respectful of that. Nope, those are old Furbies. That's not it. Oh, there it is. Her name is Vanna. I named her Vanna. And she's way cuter than I remember drawing her. Oh my god. Okay, hold on. Let me show her to you guys real quick. That's not him. That's not them. Okay, so that's Aquatine in the middle. This is Vanna. This is the owner of the Checker Cafe, and she's so cute. So that's the fish guy that I said that I really liked his design. I love it so much. Can you guys guess if he's a cyborg too? He might be. And then this is Quinn. I'm not going to say who she is, but she's a cyborg too. Give me 1 second, I'm going to move things around again. Because I think I found the actual picture. If I found that one, I think I found the one of Sil with his little outfit. Or not. How do I have the one of those 3, but not the one of just Sil and all of his goofy outfits? Because the one of Sil and his goofy outfits also includes what he looked like with his stupid hat on. Hold on. See, this is the problem with when you switch to a new device and you can't just transfer everything. I have everything. They're just not loading properly. So, like, I have to keep clicking random files and just hope to God that that might be the right one. You know what I mean? So, hold on. I might be onto something. I think I'm on the right... No! Why are these blank now? Oh, wait. Okay. Alright, this is good. And immediately it becomes not good. Okay. I can't keep looking through these just forever, you know what I mean? How did I get the one of Vanna and them, but not that one? Please. No, that's Owl House. Oh, actually, we might be getting somewhere. Hold on. Hold on. Nope, that's not it either. That is someone's OC. That I shouldn't have pressed that. That clearly says mouth. That is just a mouth that I drew for a different PNG tuber. This is why I should actually name my stuff, I feel like if I actually named all my files, it would be so much easier to find things. Ooh, that's not it either, but that's a really cool picture that I drew last year. I'm trying to toot my own horn, but it's a good one. Nope, that's the newest thing I've done. Okay, so I have to go back a little bit. Not that far back, though. Too far back. Not far back enough. Oh my god, this is exhausting. Well, that's glad I didn't show that one, because ooh, they're showing up. Hold on. I'm sorry, you guys aren't seeing any of this. I'm just I found it. Wait, I found something else too. I found it. Oh, may I ask where I got my VTuber character? Oh, I literally just made this yesterday. No joke. There we go. It's Syl! So this is Syl before the accident. So technically his hair is incorrect from how I drew it in the picture I'm currently doing, so I'm gonna fix that. This is his uniform. I decided not to give him a tie at all. That's why it looked funny to me. I also didn't give him the checkers on the sleeves, so I'm gonna leave it the way it is. God, it's so weird seeing him with black hair, honestly. And then this is what he looked like when the problems happened. Yeah, there's Syl. And then bonus. Oh, this is Celine. So this is what she looks like when she first comes in, and basically what she ends up choosing after the fact. And this is the borrowed uniform. So as you can see, it doesn't matter what she wears. They always show through, which is fine. She's cute. I like her. But you could tell that I've really been into the story, because I started drawing full reference pictures for them in case anything, happened. In case I needed to do anything with them. And I really do want to. Here, let me actually pull this. That's not what I wanted to do. There we go. That way I can... Oh! That's not it. There we go. I'm gonna bring this one over so that I'm using the correct colors. And I can fix his hair a little bit. Because... yeah, I don't really have to fix much. I'm gonna keep it mainly the same, but I'm gonna fix this. Basically what is all of this hair right here. And I'm gonna do it without a sketch. Whoa. Whoa. Living life on the edge. Oh my god. I'm just going for it. I just realized that this right here looks funny. Jenny the Teenage Robot vibes. For real. I watched that show a lot growing up, so I know exactly what you mean. I'm telling you, like, between me and my friends, we've mentioned it a lot of times. We're just like, we asked each other, because we'll like draw a lot together and stuff, and we'll just like, so looking at my stuff, can you tell what I started off drawing, you know, like where my influences come from? Now, whenever I ask my friends, what does it look that my stuff came from? They always say it's very, very clear that I was in the Sonic fandom from the way that I draw things and the way I shade, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? That is very fair. It's very obvious that I was in the Sonic fandom. I can never hide from that. I know my truth. Okay, let's see. Now I know what I said about without the sketch, but hopefully I don't fuck this up and I won't need it. Okay, that actually doesn't look that bad. This music makes me panic, but I know it's just the music from the competitions. Oh, this one needs some help. What is this? What does it look like that? Oh yeah, and the tie. You don't get a tie. I'm getting rid of that. I'm taking away your tie privileges. There we go. Then, if I remember correctly, yep, the checkers are only on the collar. Technically, they'll be on the apron too, but you can't see the apron from here. Okay, I'm actually getting really hungry. How long have I been? Oh, I've been live for over an hour now. Alright, I think I'm gonna call it now here. I got a decent amount done. Obviously, it's not done yet. I did a lot of yapping, more yapping than drawing, but that's fine. I liked talking to you guys. But yeah, I'm hungry. So I'm going to get off now. I appreciate you guys staying.